right, everybody. So today I'm going to be showing you all the best way to buy properties consistently with $0 down. So step one is you're going to go to Zillow and you're going to search up the area you're looking at. For me, I've been looking in my city. However, you can look at whatever your city is. Maybe it's Birmingham. Let's take a look at Birmingham, Alabama. So now we're going to change our filters for sale. We're going to do a 3-bedroom plus because Section 8 tends to do better with 3 or better bedrooms. And we're going to be looking for less than $100,000. We're going to zoom in. We're going to be looking for a property that needs work. This is a very minor rehab of a house. But I think we need a little bit more rehab in this area to push some sort of value add situation. Here we go. No interior pictures. Probably not something I'd take on. Here we go. That needs probably about $10,000 of work. Let's see what this one is. We're going to try and pick the best one out here so we can buy this way easier for $0 out of pocket. Here we go. Very light rehab right here. So we're going to come here and we're going to copy this address. We're going to plug it right here. So guys, this right here is a very light rehab. So you probably got to fix the kitchen, and otherwise it doesn't look too bad. And you need to do a bathroom and probably some exterior work, probably the HVAC, and the electrical possibly, or plumbing. But otherwise it's a light to medium rehab. I think even the roof looks good, so like a pressure wash and fix some of the shrubbery that's all grown up all over it. Okay? But it doesn't look like a super bad rehab. So for a rent-ready medium rehab, we're going to assume, for a rent-ready light medium rehab, I would assume about $15 to $20 a square foot. So let's do 15 times, or 1144 times 1750. Oops. So 20,200 in total renovations. Honestly, it may be less. Based on what I see, what I'm seeing, I could do this for less than 10,000, but we're planning on the absolute worst here. But I'm assuming that it doesn't have any of the big ticket items like the HVAC or the water heater or anything like that. So let's just plan on $20,000 of repairs. So we're going to scroll super deep in here. Now we're going to take this up to 300. All right. Now we're going to take this to sold. And we're going to see what the closest looking home has sold for in this area. Okay, here we go. Here is a renovated home right here that sold for $120,000. And this one is probably our most comparable, where it has sold for, let's see. Yeah, it's in good condition. I think this would probably be our most sold. It's the most similar in square footage, and it's a 3-bed, 1-bath. I think we probably need to do a 3-bed, 2-bath though, because ours was a 3-bed, 2-bath. But we're trying to find a relatively freshly renovated one. I think this could be a good comparable, possibly. Let's see. So they're putting that up for rent. I'd like to see something specific that sold. Perfect. So this one's right down the street. It sold for $120,000. Looks to be in about the same condition ours will be in. It is a little bit bigger square footage though, so I would probably plan on our exit being around $100,000. So that's what we call ARV. And ARV is after repair value. So how we have to determine how much we need to offer in order to purchase this with $0 down, you would do ARV times 0.7 minus, let's do times 0.7 minus repairs. And if you don't want to pay any closing costs too, you'll probably need it to be ARV times 0.65 minus repairs. Now, guys, of course, make sure you're doing very in-depth looks at these properties because you don't know the repair amount until you go to them. Or not necessarily go to them, but have a contractor go to them or have a property manager go to them or check them out. So for this specific example, we're just going to do the 70% rule. It's much easier to come across a 70% rule than it is to come across a 65% rule. But for this example, we were saying our ARV is 100,000. I would guess it's actually a little bit more than that, probably 110, 115. But again, I like to be ultra conservative. So we know that 100,000 times 0.7 or 70% equals $70,000. Boom. So $70,000 has to be our all-in price for this specific property. So let's see what they're asking again on this specific deal. We're making our way there. So they're asking $35,000. So they're asking $35,000. And we know that we have to be all in. All in $70,000. Beautiful. Okay, so however much our repair cost is has to equal 35, or so whatever our repair cost is plus the 35,000 has to be less than 70. So what is our repair cost? Remember, we said it was 20,200 estimated. Maybe a little more. Or maybe less. But let's just say 22,000. And then our purchase price or asking price, obviously, I'm going to try and negotiate that down. But the purchase price plus repairs would be 47,000. Or sorry, my bad, 57,000. And that's all in. So we would even be able to probably make the 65% rule work with this. However, if we were to purchase this for $57,000, that means when we go to do a BRRRR, we can get all of our money back out. So how? We took this house that was broken and we made it into this house. This house was worth $35K. This house was worth $100K. And it cost us $22K to make it worth $100,000. So all in, you're $57,000. Now the bank, this is where we get the initial lender paid off, and we get to own the property ourselves with the bank. So the bank will say, hey, I think this house, this is the bank, by the way. This house is worth $100,000. However, we don't want to give you $100,000 for this home because you're still going to own it. We want to make sure you have some skin in the game. So they're going to only give you 80% of this. So 80%, what they actually give you is 80K. Sorry. What they're actually going to give you is 80% of that amount, or $80,000. Now you take this 80K and you pay off this 35 and this 22 that the lender gave you, which is that 57,000 total. So the bank's going to give you $80,000 collateralized, meaning against this home. And you're going to have to pay $57K to the private lender to pay off his loan. And then you're going to have to pay about, let's say, 10% interest, so another $6,000 for him letting you use his money. Not 60K, but 6,000. See. So that's going to mean we're going to be all in 63K minus 63K. And that is going to equal 17K that we have left over. So the cool part about this is you can take this 17,000 and put it in your pocket. So you made 17,000 to purchase this house. And how much of this is taxed? It's not. It's tax-free. So now you got this property for $0 out of pocket because you got a private lender to pay. You refinanced from the bank after you made the property worth more. You paid back your initial lender plus the fees he gave you. And then you have this much left over that's tax-free. Now you're like, JT, how do I even make money off of this? Well, what you're going to do is you're going to put a Section 8 tenant in there. And so remember, guys, this is a 3-bed, 2-bath in Birmingham. $35218 is the zip code. Where they're paying $1,420 for a 3-bedroom. So you're going to come to our Section 8 calculator, and we're about to determine how much cash flow we're going to be getting. So the fair market rent is $1,420. The taxes are, we're going to use 0.66% of the 35,000. So honestly, this is probably going to be super, super cheap. Let's just assume $600 to be safe. Usually it'll say in Zillow what the property taxes are, but the tax assessment being this low is probably going to be extremely cheap. And then insurance yearly for a single family, we assume $1,200. And then a purchase price, which this is very high, by the way, it shouldn't be that high. And then purchase price, we're going to assume to be whatever our ARV is. And our ARV is $100,000. And then how much did the bank give you? That's called loan to value. What percentage of the house's what the house is worth did the bank give you? 80%. Correct. So now we're going to put this interest rate at 8.25. Again, these are ultra conservative. If you guys want to take less LTV, you can. You can take this down to 75%. Or with this deal, sorry, let me take that back. 75%. Or you can even take it down to 70. Should be cool. And then the closing cost for this deal would be right around the 4% mark. And then you would be making, in pro forma, ultra conservative cash flow profits, $188 a month. Well, you may say, JT, that's not much money at all. But if you were to literally pay $0 for an investment, and that investment pays you $200 for the rest of your life and will only continue to increase through federal government paid guaranteed rent, it would probably be a solid deal. So you might be thinking, JT, where do I go next? Like, how do I even do this? Well, if you need money for lending, you can call my friend here, Dan Bellew, and he can hook you up with some hard money, and he will go 100% LTC on anything that is 70% all in below ARV. And guys, don't forget, you don't have to take 80% leverage out, but the bank will usually give 80% on site-built single-family homes with a DSCR refinance. That's how you purchase property with $0 down. I hope you all learned something new today. I hope this helped you. If you guys have any questions, feel free to DM me on Instagram, and I'd love to help in any way possible. I think that you guys can definitely go out and do this yourself. But yeah, thanks for asking questions. Hopefully this helps you guys. And yeah, peace.